Once I get back to the lab, it is your old Professor Pilk, and as you can tell, we are not necessarily in the normal lab, we are in my traveling lab, currently live at MomoCon of all places in Atlanta, Georgia. So, well, my hotel room at MomoCon. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how you're going to take on this Garchomp raid, which I will go ahead and spoil it. This is not going to be an easy raid. My run was super dirty, totally just terrible RNG, but if you play your cards right, this actually can be totally doable on a solo level. And what we're going to do here is we're actually going to run a mon that I hadn't quite thought of yet for this. That is Slowbro. I can't believe I didn't think about this. This is such a no-brainer mon. Now, mine has got a Stellar Tera. You can actually run this with a Water Tera, no problem, no questions asked. And I actually have a Shell Bell on it, and you definitely need that Shell Bell because basically when you're going to be doing damage, you're also going to be healing, and that is so important. As you'll see in my run, healing is vital. Now, if we kind of go over here, you want to make sure that you EV train in special attack and HP, and as always, make sure your Pokemon is level 100 and has been completely hyper trained. Now, I have the Oblivious ability. It doesn't really matter too much. The ability was not a factor in this, but moves definitely were. Now, you can wipe Growl off here. We never used Growl once. That was kind of a clutch maneuver. We wound up not needing it, but Scald is going to be your main DPS. That's why I say I have a Stellar Tera. You can run it with a Water Tera, but you do need Scald. Scald is the #1 component of this whole thing. Scald is what's going to bring this together because it's a power 80, accuracy 100, water special attacking move, but it also has a 30% chance to burn. Remember, burn's going to knock his attack down by 50%. So the other half of that is you're going to run this with a Pokemon with Intimidate. You have to, you must, and that's going to knock the attack down by 50%. Plus you have Iron Defense, which is going to put up another barrier between you and you're in a nasty plot. So as you're doing your Skulls, not only are you hopefully going to get a burn, but you're also going to be healing because you're going to do a couple of nasty plots right out of the gate. So your Skulls are way higher power. Your defenses are high. His attack is low. It's gonna be great. Now, one thing I didn't mention over here is you do need to make sure that you have a modest mint, or in my case, I actually have a, what is that, a mild mint on your Pokemon, or mild nature, I guess I should say, because I've got special attack up, actually, I don't think that's mild nature, is it? I think it's a different nature, but I've got a mint on here that gives you special attack up, speed down, just because speed's not really a factor in this one. You're never going to outspeed this mon with Slowbro. It's not going to be a thing. But you can do attack down, speed down. You can even do special defense down. Either one doesn't really matter. But I just went with speed because this is an all-rounder build, and we've used this build before. So let's go and jump into the run, and let's do this thing. So we actually on here with Intimidate, and you only need one. Downside is I'd really like to have a healer here, so I would have loved to trade either Staraptor or Tauros for a Gardevoir or a Volvia or someone like that, but the reality here, we have Staraptor, we have Tauros, even Arcanine would have been good. Either one of those three with Intimidate, you've got to have on this run. There's just no two ways about it. If you're going to solo this, you need to have him. They cut his attack in half. I'm also going to Iron Defense here right out of the gate, because this whole early portion of this fight is about removing the damage. Now, while the temptation is to Growl, I actually, in hindsight, don't think I'm going to use Growl at all. I think Growl is just I think it's more of a distraction, I'll be completely honest. Let's go ahead and do another Iron Defense. Because the reality is he's going to reset our stats in a few minutes. We just want to make sure that we have as much HP as possible before he does that. There we go. Now, we also need to get the burn off, but we also need to be able to be buffed enough that we can do damage. So I think the next move that I'm going to do is going to be a nasty plot. Now, it seems weird, but follow me here. We need to do a certain amount of damage in order to break his barrier, and we need minimum 2 nasty plots in order to do that. So I think getting those 2 nasty plots off and then scalding has just, in my experience, been the right combination of maneuvers. So nasty plot number 2. So 2 Iron Defenses, 2 nasty plots. Here we go. Now we're going to go for the Scald. Now the nice part is Tauros and Staraptor each have an opportunity to burn, and with our 30% burn, we each turn have an exponentially better chance to get the burn. So while I was kind of like, I really want to intimidate Pokemon, it's not actually that bad to have both of them. Just because it does increase slightly your chance of getting a burn. I think each one of them have a 10% chance, we have a 30% chance. Let's hit him with another Scald. Now, I hate to break it to you, there's a real downside to all this, and that is here in just a moment, he is going to remove his own stat debuffs, and he is also going to Swords Dance. That's when he's going to start doing insane damage. So we want to, case in point, watch the Swords Dance happen. Yeah, he's a threat now. But the good news is we have a high chance to get a burn, so let's do one more Scald. Remember, the burn is going to cut his attack in half one more time, so basically he's going to have a quarter of his normal attack with that off, but you saw how much damage he did there. So I'm really banking on that burn. We've got to get that burn. And I know it's a total RNG game, but that's where we're at here. I'm going to cheer heal up just because how abysmal our health is. You know, with a 50-ish% chance every turn to burn, the fact we haven't done it so far is just mind-boggling, but it is what it is. Okay. Let's go ahead and Terastallize and hit him with another Scald. We'll start breaking him down. We'll start tearing down his defensive structure. But once again, every single turn, there's about a, with us 30%, with the other two 10%. So let's, for the sake of argument, 50% chance to burn, give or take. You know, depending on, you know, I'm sure the statistics majors out there are going, oh, it's below this, but you know, we're just rounding to the nearest, make myself feel better. Decent amount of healing out of that. I don't think it's enough. Let's do another Scald, and we may have to just eat another Cheer Heal. I probably should have done it on this turn, I hate to say. Actually, no, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. Can we please get the burn? Because the nice part is he doesn't reset stats for quite a while, so if we get the burn here, that actually is going to hold for a very long time. Oh, there's another Swords Dance. So we're going to have to eat that Cheer Heal. We got one more Cheer Heal in our pocket, and these Swords Dances are making him scary. Oh, that was really bad. Why was it so bad? Oh, I need a better heal than that. I'm going to have to blow my last Cheer Heal. I have no choice. He's just... Please just be a better heal. Oh, come on! Why? Why is this... Bruh! What? Just give me 10 HP and slap me in the face. Come on. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna have to go for the burn again. It's crazy. 60 HP. And I'm sure that was a low roll. So, yeah, if we don't have 60 HP on the back end of this, we probably really do not like these numbers. And a 50% burn, he's not burned yet. It's so bad. Come on, dude. It seems like somebody's knocking down his attack, and I appreciate that. Because if they weren't doing that, we would be in just a mess right now. The fact we haven't gotten a burn with a 50% chance every turn. The fact we haven't gotten it off yet is just blowing my mind. Alright, so that's a good heal right there. That's going to be a big heal, but he's going to reset our stats, and he is Swords Danced up pretty high. So let's check the numbers. I'm gonna go ahead and Iron Defense. We had 2 Iron Defenses. Actually, you don't want to. You know. Oh, that was down. That was not up. Somebody's knocking his attack down. That's what that is. Somebody's knocking his attack down. That's fantastic. You know what? And I hate to say it, that probably takes the place of the burn. So let's go ahead and Nasty Plot. So I'm gonna guess that's probably. I'm gonna guess that's Umbreon. That's fantastic. I haven't been paying attention to what everyone else has been doing. So let's do another Nasty Plot. So whoever's knocking his attack down is doing me such a major favor. Here we go. If you've been paying attention, and I'm sure a lot of you have in the background, and you know what move has been knocking his attack down, comment down below and let them know which Pokemon's been doing it, because that's the other person you need on that team. Because that has been majorly clutch. Alright. Now he's going to reset his own stats here in a minute, and he's going to be back to normal. Man, we got the burn right before he did it, too. What a load, man. That's just rude. We got the burn just in time for him to do that mess. And then, of course, he charges too early. Such a messy run. Such a miserable run. But here it is. I think we're 2 turns from the end. So hopefully you get the burn off much earlier. Your life will be a lot simpler with that burn early on. But the answer is you need the 2 Nasty Plots, or 2 Iron Defenses, 2 Nasty Plots, Scald to break the barrier, Terastallize when you can. Then, after all is said and done, when you break the barrier, remember he resets everything. So if you have a partner mon that's knocking down his attack, you're in good hands. But if you don't, you need to start working on those defenses. Really. And he's going to blast us out of the cave early, isn't he? He's just going to be rude here, isn't he? Okay, no, there we go. All right, perfect. I was like, the way this has been going, I just knew it was going to go so bad. All right, but per usual, we're going to catch him in a Heal Ball. We've caught all the pseudos in a Heal Ball. So here we go. Heal Ball for Garchomp. Alright. I know the run was a bit messy, but if you get that Scald off early on, trust me, it will not be nearly as bad. Just remember, that stat reset that happens at, turn 4 or 5, after that is when you really need to get that burn. So 2 Iron Defenses, 2 Nasty Plots, and then hopefully you get the burn with Scald. Hopefully your run is not nearly as bad as mine is, but that's really the big one. And if you have a partner mon that's knocking down attack, believe me, that's going to make life a lot easier too. Like, share, comment, all those good things. See you guys again real soon.